The game that you're currently looking at right now is misleading. It was also on the front page, specifically popular. That is not a big shock because there's always a misleading game on popular. And it will always be like that until the Roblox admins can stop making up excuses as to why they can't moderate this stuff. Yet in their videos, their live streams and whatnot, and their forum posts, they say that they're trying as hard as they can to get rid of these things. They're cracking down on them, and that you should just keep downvoting these games, and over time it will actually do something, instead of Roblox actually getting in there and doing something about it. You had Chaletsky talking about it, like if your game got stolen and only had 10 people in it, didn't really matter. But if it had, if it was stolen and it had, it was on the front page, they said that they would take it down. And that turned out to be a lie. I also explained in another video how the Roblox game was stolen by Gennarly, and that game got over 10 million visits. And nothing was done about it. He wasn't, as far as I'm aware of, he wasn't contacted, his game wasn't, shut down, he wasn't even banned, alright? The game just faded away on its own. But in the end, he still made 10 million visits off of the stolen Roblox, or off a stolen game. He made 10 million visits off a stolen game, and nothing was done about that. And today, the game that you are currently looking at, called Natural Disaster Survival 3, may ring a bell. It may sound like Stickmaster Luke's Natural Disaster Survival, except with a 3 added on to the end of it. So, I thought that maybe this was one of those games where you survive the 99 different disasters. You've seen these games before on the front page. They say that there's 99 different disasters in the game when it only turns out to be about 20. But I thought it was one of those games, so I end up playing it. And right off the bat, when I get in, it's obviously stolen from Stickmaster Luke. Except there's a difference between this game and Stickmaster Luke's, and it's not a difference that makes this game that lets this game off the hook. See, this game, Natural Disaster Survival 3, is less advanced than the original game. And what I mean by that is, the original game in which he stole has more features in it than his game. And yet, at the very end of it, he has the fucking nerve to add a 3 on the end. As if to say that this game has been updated. When really it hasn't. And I will have proof up there, alright? I will have pictures from Stickmaster Luke's game. I have about 4 pictures, alright? I will have pictures from Stickmaster Luke's game on the right. And the guy who stole the game, I don't have his, I think it's like Provix or something. His will be on the left, alright? Now, you can say, if you're one of those skeptical persons, or people, you can go into these games and you can go see for yourself. I'm not saying that you should go into these games and give him a ticket. Like, you can give Stickmaster Luke a ticket, because he actually made the fucking game. But if you want to go give Provix a ticket, go ahead if you don't believe me. But right about now, I will be showing you, in the stat menu, the ones on the right are Stickmaster Luke's disasters. He's added a few more into there because he updated it about 2 weeks ago. And then if you look on the left, you're going to see all the outdated disasters, all the old disasters. And the new one, or the one by Stickmaster Luke, there's tons of new maps in it. But in the one that's on the front page, there's no new maps in it, and there's no new disasters. All there is new badges added down, and he painted the staircase, alright? Inside the lobby, there's a little staircase, a little spiral staircase. He painted the stairs yellow and black. That's it, alright? And he may have changed the thumbnail to a volcano, a volcano from Minecraft, alright? Now, if people think that coloring a spiral staircase a different color and renaming the title and putting a new picture on it qualifies as a new game, like I've said before, there is no point in helping you and in trying to convince you that this game is stolen. I'm sure there aren't many people out there, actually barely any people who actually believe that shit, but you will be surprised how many people will go onto my videos and say that because he changed just a few things, like painted a building a different color, that he somehow has the rights to the game. Now, why is it that this outdated game got on popular? Well, misleading. Telling people to go into this game, having a title that obviously brings people into the game, when in reality, none of the stuff that you see in the title is actually in there. Now, you may think of misleading as, play this game to get, free tickets. But, this game, because he added a 3 onto it, at the very end of Natural Disaster Survival, people thought that this was an updated version of Natural Disaster Survival, when in reality, the original one was way more advanced than this older version. In reality, this game was not, this was not a, an updated version. This was not upgraded at all. So why is there a 3 on the end? It doesn't make any sense. So I would count that as misleading. But the bigger problem is, this game is obviously stolen. And it's not unusual to see stolen games on the front page and not have anything done about them except for people downvoting them. The thing that really shocks me about this one is, see, Natural Disaster Survival, the original one, is made by Stickmaster Luke. And for those who are unaware, Stickmaster Luke is, guess what, an administrator for Roblox. Now, let's just put this into perspective. Somebody has found an uncopylocked version of Stickmaster Luke's game, which has obviously been exploited, and then he takes that uncopylocked game, I'm just assuming, maybe he did it himself, he then uploads it to his account, changes the title, and adds a 3 on the end of it to fool people into thinking that this is a more advanced version than Stickmaster Luke's, and manages to get a 50,000 visit profit off of that. So 50,000 tickets, basically. Off a game that he put little to no effort into. Actually, no, he did not put any effort into this game. Alright? He painted the stairs. That is it. And it just amazes me how this guy can get away with this. You could obviously, send an email to Roblox talking about it, and your chances of them actually reviewing it are very slim, or their chances, of you getting an actual person talking back to you instead of an automated response. It's very slim to actually, have something done about these games. Even though in the virtual BloxCon they're talking about, if you see misleading games, report them and downvote them and just don't play them and tell your friends and we'll take care of the game. See, the moderators and admins, they don't push the games down off the front page. They don't really do anything when it comes to this issue, unless the game has the word sex or 18 plus party and blah blah blah. And those games rarely come around. They come around about maybe 5 times a year, which is still a big amount. And they get so many views and whatnot that there's no admins online to even moderate the front page. And I don't think that it's just Roblox's fault, or when it's not Roblox's fault when it comes to these games getting stolen, because obviously they can't just stop everybody from stealing these games. I'll give them that, alright? But see, you could always change the way that popular works, alright? That's something that you could do. You could always put something in the rules that says that you cannot mislead. That would fix a lot of problems. And another thing would be enforce those, alright? Because, even in the terms of service, apparently everybody is, they have their own intellectual property. And they're allowed basically their own copyright on the website. And if somebody were to steal your game without your permission, that would be like breaching the terms of service, and you should get banned for it. But that doesn't happen on Roblox. at least most of the time, I've only seen one case of that, and I'll bring it up again. Fat as a block. That was the only time when I saw a game that was stolen get taken down. That was, major. It was on the front page and getting lots of visits. And the only reason why that game got taken down, or why all the other different copies of it got taken down, is because Deadzone Zach had to make a forum. And the forum wasn't even directed at these stolen games. Alright, he was just talking about the main issue on this website. He was talking about how anybody could steal a game and could get away with it. He wasn't directly talking about his game getting stolen. And yet, Roblox noticed and decided to take down all the different duplicates out there. So maybe Roblox does know about these stolen games, but they don't seem to like to enforce it a lot. Because I've seen moderators talk about how, it's not, as easy as hitting the delete button on a game. Well, if you can ban users so fast, why can't you terminate places so fast? Maybe you should work on that. Maybe you should make it easier to delete a place. Alright, I'm not saying you should have it so easy so you could delete a button and have that game obviously wiped off the face of Roblox, but restrict access to it. Go into the game and actually review it like you said you would. Look for these problems. Or go in undercover and see what's going on. Otherwise, what's the point of having these things in the terms of service saying you shouldn't steal games, you shouldn't mislead? Basically, they are only saying that you can't do these things, but if you do these things, we aren't going to ban you for them. And that's what really ticks me off. So let me fix my mic here. Alright, sorry about the interruption. I actually made a point that was wrong, and I just noticed it about now. I was going on about a rant about how there was a stolen game, it's still stolen, that was on the front page, and it was basically, it was called the 2014 Olympics, alright? And it was basically, it was the 2012 Olympic Games, which I thought were made by Roblox. It was actually made by Rob Red Eyes 2, and that game was actually stolen. So the London 2012 Olympics game made by Rob Red Eyes 2 was stolen by somebody, I believe. Let me get the name for you. It was stolen by Von Rose, and that got its way up onto the front page, and it was renamed the Olympics 2014. And that game had 4,000 visits in it. I had thought that this game was actually stolen from Roblox, because I didn't really remember back to 2011 or 2012. I remembered seeing the game, I just didn't remember who it was made by, so it obviously looked like something that Roblox would have built, but I was still a little bit iffy about it. Anyway, the game was still stolen. I'm not gonna, say that, I'm not gonna cut out the entire piece. The game was still stolen. It's just Roblox didn't make it. Somebody else made it, and this game still got up to the front page. Yet, it's still another example of how the popular page is failing in terms of stopping these stolen games. So, sorry for the interruption. Let's get back to it. Do you see what I'm getting at? There's obviously a problem with the Liquid Games page. Primarily, the popular page. Alright? Because this is where all the problems are. You don't see this kind of shit in top rated because top rated games have, guess what, lots of ratings in them. Alright, they aren't filled with shit. They've been upvoted by the community as a good game. I'm Christopher Hutchins. Thank you for watching.